from that. We've seen so many teams, at least in NA and EU, that go back to that as a crutch if they want to lock in a game.
Yeah, and surprisingly, and maybe you'll see it now, we're in the ban phase here. Blissey has made a surprising pass through the ban phase. It's made it through more games than I suspected, and a lot more eggs coming out. But Spinal already says, CACM, get that Scyther out of here. Get the Gengar gone too. Boy, I wonder who we're targeting.
Bro, how much of a compliment is it for you to not only be target banned once, but twice in the same ban phase? Is absolutely ridiculous by Reggie. What a statement for how strong of a player they are. Psyduck has also been taken out as they witnessed how strong that was against Lost MTZ. Cacm Esports are going to ban out the Glaceon, the Umbreon, and the Suicune here, wanting to get rid of all that crowd control.
Yeah, but they're going to pull in the Mimikyu. That's going to be Vin on that Mimi there as well. Vimy has been doing a lot of great work this tournament there. A lot of Shadow Sneak is common, but we have seen a lot of Trick Room and just how powerful and strong it can be. You're not just dashing to people, you're dashing through them. So it's going to be interesting to see how, but hey, Mimikyu does have the Play With Me, which locks people down, and Cacm says Slowbro is going to be paired against it, so we can also have that lockdown power.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant counter pick here by Cacm. I feel like taking the Mimikyu as a first pick is such an audacious thing. It's such a brilliant Pokemon in the meta right now, but it kind of shows you have a plan to take it that early. Flareon's is going to get their Inteleon back on the field. Pure's bringing out the Mamoswine this time. No Snorlax, not wanting to entertain the Crustle either. Mamoswine on the field is going to be such an interesting decision by Pure.
Yeah, I love Mamoswine, and it's going to go into Snorlax there, or Slowbro. They start with an S, and my brain defaulted there. But Slowbro coming out, that's going to be a great pairing for it, but Reggie's going to show what they can do on the Talonflame. And Don Lux says, you want snipes? I'll go toe-to-toe with you. I'm not scared of your 112k Miraidon. I'm not scared of your Groudon, Shakira, and Inteleon. I'll bring it.
That's what we want to see. Bring it indeed. This is going to be an interesting matchup. We talked previously how Spinal, they were uncontested on the side of Flareons, and they didn't have any pressure on them at all with this Inteleon. So this is Reggie's one mission in this game. Make Flareons uncomfortable on the positions in that Inteleon, and we'll see whether that works for them. Right now, Cacm Esports locking in the double ranged attacker comp here as well. And I mean, we say double. Looking at that Laddie Red, I may have a supporter background, but that's an attacker all day long, bro.
Yeah, that is triple attacker right there. Triple attacker and a little tank and a guy that's definitely going to be brave birding all over Flareons if they can see it. That Clefable and Pure are going to have a lot of options and a lot of action to try to protect that Inteleon while also sitting on the front lines. But we do have Og on Lucario, not Mega Lucario, but Little Luca here to represent.
I do like that, to be honest. I think the Lucario, you don't need those extra evolutions or anything like that. You are looking for your immunity from crowd control, trying to hit those higher levels there. But this is going to be an interesting game here, Jonathan, because squishies galore on both sides here. You got the double, well, triple ranged attacker realistically on the side with Reggie ready on that Talonflame. And then it's all about what Flareons can do to keep out of the way on the side of Spinal. They've got more frontline on the side of Spinal, so I think they've probably got the better comp here.
They do, but I think the tanks are also going to be working overtime. Mamoswine's got that Ice Fang, Slowbro, so it's all going to be about possibly, if we see those moves, who can get those picks and who can collapse on them the fastest. But we're going into game one. Spinal, your purple team, Cacm's Esports, your orange team there, as we're already seeing who's taking the central lane.
One thing for sure, the Talonflame is not going to have an easy job against the Mimikyu. It's not the best of matchups, is that, but they know their one target is going to be Flareons, as we see stacks already coming onto the board. Who is going to get the better power spike into the lane?
Yeah, but we do have the Mew coming in. Well, Mew's already level 4 there. The Sobbled level 4 too, but we're already seeing rotations into the top. Both Lotties plus the Talon. Reggie is here. They are ready to fight, but we're also 20 seconds early from those 850 birds.
Let's see who can get the power spikes early on the side of these central laners. They've got 5 across the board. It's all about who wins this top lane battle. As we see Swinub coming up here as well. Spinal are going to send 4 into this lane. So, for Cacm Esports, as they take majority of that on the side of Spinal, there comes the muted auto with the Electro Ball. But Swinub, they'll take all that all day with that thick fat.
But Latias is also looking for that brawl. They're looking for that fight. They just hit the level 4, and they'll start being able to build those Aeon stacks as they're coming through. Reggie's already causing chaos in the bottom lane here, causing trouble for Flareons as they have to back out and eat some berries, while also backing out as well. Nice support from the Slowbro, being able to extract Reggie from the fight.
Pure was desperate to see if they can get onto Reggie there. Not able to do so. Some good blockage will come on through. But that is what Spinal are going to be concentrating on. If you can find picks on the side of Reggie, you've got more space to push onto these ranged attackers. As we see Spinal pushing up to take away this experience from Frankia where they can. But it's just allowing them to get stacks here, Jonathan.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we look at the levels. Level 7 on both of our carries there, both of our main central laners there, but the Latios going to get the KO onto that Lucario. Double KO onto the Clefable. That's going to be huge into the top lane here. Reggie Drago untouched, but Spinal does have more members in the bottom here, and they are going to be pushing that pad to score.
Yeah, they've got to capitalize on this, take down this Slowbro, which is not an easy task, but you've seen that Cacm Esports, they've got the Reggie Drago, they've gone and scored points in the top goal. You have to get some benefit here. Big Beam's going to come through, but the points will rain in. It is a Trick Room Mimikyu, and Spinal do manage to get a little bit of a lead from that.
Yeah, that Mamoswine doing great work with that Ice Fang, already finding the picks, pulling them down and pulling them away. Nice snipe shot from Inteleon, securing that wild Pokemon. Gotta capture them all, as they say, as our objectives are hitting the field. Regilecki deciding to take the bite basement.
Let's see if they can find the space that they're looking for on the side of Cacm Esports. Slowbro sat in there absorbing all of the damage, but Pure on point with the Ice Fang. Manages to find the KO onto one of the ranged attackers. The Brave Bird trying to land, but ends up with a shot in the face as they end up going back to Nurse Joy. They find Clefable, but objective online now for Spinal as the Regilecki is going to push in. They can't break it in time, but the Azure Spy Vision, oh baby, a triple coming out for Flareons.
Listen, now Flareons is a demon on that Inteleon, and the bans seem to be working. When you take away that Scyther, take away that Gengar, you're limiting options to what the opposing can do. Talonflame hasn't been as effective as it could be yet, but it is the highest Pokemon on the field with that Mimikyu, with that Inteleon there. So all it takes is just a little bit more scaling before it's able to just be a devastating threat.
Yeah, they really are managing to find a way to limit the Talonflame, and that was the main target, because if you can stop that damage coming on through, you can stop Flareons getting the pressure on. You can already see them here just sat up, bringing these snipe shots through, buddy. And if you can't stop that coming onto your side, you are going to lose this game. It does way too much damage.
It does, but the Lucario's already thinking about that, and he's saying, hey, I gotta get the heck out of here. Clefable's body blocking, but also getting crucial vision. The Brave Bird goes in, but misses everything, while the Flareons is laying down the support with those cover and fire on the Inteleon shots. But the Brave Bird comes in, takes down the Mamoswine, provides a wonderful opportunity for Cacm to score.
OG was really hoping to cause the disruption on the Talonflame, but it's not enough as Reggie finds the scores, and now they're diving down the Flux lane. They've managed to find Flareons, Clefable taken down as well. Goodbye to Mimikyu as Vin Diesel goes back to Nurse Joy, and Cacm Esports have got themselves well and truly back in this game.
They were going a little bit even, maybe a little minus there at the start, but they have found their momentum. They found the tempo. They got the pushes they need. They're a little behind on points, but look at those levels. They are climbing there on Reggie, level 12, but they need the Lotties up, and they need that Mew up. They're level 10s right now. Got to get them to their level 12s.
Ooh, and Slowbro's gonna go down. A massive pick by Pure. Mammoth Mash is gonna come on through here. And as we saw in the previous games, Mammoth Swine can take a little while to get online, but Pure is very comfortable with their levels here. But the Brave Bird is gonna find them anyway, and then Reggie has to get themselves out of that position. Regieleki is gonna be taken by the Electro Ball coming through, and that gives CACM Esports a good advantage as Reggie dives back on in. It's a double KO coming out from the Laddie Red here, and they push on in. The Regieleki to give themselves the lead of this game.
Don Lux had to remind Flareons there's another sniper on the board. Now, it may not always be Solar Beam, but Electro Ball is just as dangerous, just as powerful. Can't forget it, can't underestimate it.
That you cannot, as Reggie Drago is also going to go to CACM Esports uncontested with 1:30 left before the mighty Groudon takes to Faya Sky Ruin. CACM Esports have got themselves very comfortably in the lead of this game. They've got the levels, they've got the points right now, looking for the Regis here as well.
Yeah, and they're going straight for it. It's the Latios with the cure on that Reggie Ice. Flareon still throwing down a lot, but the Flame Charge comes in, tries to kidnap the Mimikyu, and does successfully takes it down. Slowbro is getting low, but look at that healing. Just says, hey, look, you got me psyched. Gonna take you down.
Brilliant effort again from Reggie here as they dive into that flux zone, looking for the back line of Spinal. Good flanking coming out from Frank as well as they break a couple of ankles there, trying to dodge those snipe shots coming their way. We got 50 seconds here, Jonathan. CACM Esports very comfortable. Spinal looking to see if they can get this started early.
Yeah, but Spinal does have a T1 pad on the side of CACM. That is a valid option for them to push to try to get a double point score in there. There's a Regieleki into the bottom here as well that they could group up and try to take. But it looks like they're prioritizing a position into the Groudon pit. They want to get that early, look for their picks, and find a way to get somebody on CACM to overextend.
And the difficulty is right now, they've not got the healing that they want to deal with these snipe shots. If you get those landing, you've lost half of your HP, and you're going to have a think about what you do then with the engage. As we see it coming through here on Don Lux, but that's the engage they were looking for. Pure has been annihilated. Reggie dives on through. We see the mist ball coming through as well. Clefable is wiped off the map, and Spinal have to rethink their engage. It's CACM Esports wiping out Spinal and going for the Groudon.
Groudon is almost gone, and now it is going to be CACM taking it now, but Spinal is respawning. 5 seconds left on Flareons to come back in. The rest of them are here onto the slower pad. Going to be trying to take it. Nice pick on the Mammoth Swine to take down the Slowbro there. It's going to be the Clefable that gets taken down. Then we have the Reggie coming in with a Flame Charge. There goes Pure. 1, 2, 3, gone for Spinal. Hundo Burger starting to rein in.
CACM Esports continue where they left off with the wins as they take game one here. We've got 1:10 left. Spinal could try to surmount some sort of comeback, but they're still waiting for a couple of their players to get back on the board. And with now over 500 points difference, it is going to be CACM Esports that gives themselves the first game with a massive advantage.
Well, there's 50 seconds left. Weirder things have happened. They haven't given up yet. They're going for the push. They got 2 buffs, one on Pure, one on Flareons. They got hope, but I don't think they have the points in the pocket. They're gonna try anyways, though, but the Slowbro's going for a cheeky back cap to make that not 500, but now 600 point difference.
Yeah, and that's going to be too much for Spinal to climb against. Not enough change in the pocket to be able to make that difference so far. They will definitely give it their all, though. And to be fair, if CACM Esports, they keep falling, that's more points that Spinal will find. The Azure Spy Vision's going to be used here, but still looking for that 600 points. That's not enough change. That is going to be CACM Esports taking game one.
Valiant effort, great bans, but they just weren't able to execute there. So coming into gate 2, gonna be interesting to see how it is that Spinal's gonna pivot, because this is match point. If they don't make this one, they're gonna have to go into the lower bracket, and they're gonna have to start making their way through on a lower bracket run to get back up into the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, one thing's for sure. I don't think Spinal has won a single game with a 2-0 victory in these sets yet. They do usually end up going to a game three and locking in and being able to take those final two games. So they're kind of not in an uncomfortable position to say. They're used to at least being a game down at some stages here, or at least tied. So that's a good position to be in if you are Spinal. But Reggie, we can't talk enough about how strong Reggie is on any of these speedsters.
Oh my gosh. No, I mean, you could ban out two Pokemon, but he's still got a third, a fourth, a fifth. You know, you can only take out so many. So you got to look at how you can counter him. How can you curb? How can you break Reggie's ankles going into this? And it's hard. So you got to look at it. Is Reggie the one to target, or is it only the Gengar that we need to ban out? Is it only the Scyther we need to ban out? Bait something else in and then make a plan for that.
Or maybe just ban out all three. Like, could we witness a free ban strategy for a target ban? That would be absolutely bizarre, mate. But I do think we need to say congrats to Ranma, because I think that Slowbro was so good in that game. But
Oh my
it took a
gosh,
lot of
yes.
resources and a lot of damage from Spinal to take them down.
Yeah, its HP got low a lot of times, and it was like within KO range. So that's when Spinal's like, let's go in, let's get it. All of a sudden, its HP starting to tick up, not down. They're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? The producers, can you check on this? Admins, no, that's legit. Oh crap, I overextended.
Yeah, and that's not a position you want to be in. You overextend, and then they just find the KOs all day long. That felt like maybe it could have been a bit more oppressive from Spinal. They did feel like they were on the back foot for quite a bit of that, Jonathan, and it just shows CACM Esports is such a good team here. They played at LAIC.
Yes.
They were the runner-ups at LAIC. They are such a strong team here in the 2025 UCS.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how Spinal again comes in and tries to take them down, because Spinal, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they fought Spinal at LAIC or not. I can't remember. It happened so long ago, Tano. Another age bygone era. But no, they're here now. They're fighting together and against each other, and it's one of those things where it's like, all right, I've seen Reggie play throughout this. I've seen what they can do. And I think realistically, now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm thinking a second chance, triple bans is the only way to do it with a secure on a fourth. First pick Reggie's fourth most played Pokemon, and you got to quadruple ban that guy.
You know what? I think all three bans used on Reggie, and then all five of your picks being on Pokemon that Reggie can play. Just take away every single Pokemon that they've got open and see if that works for you. You never know. I tell you what, it probably won't. It probably won't, because Reggie is such a great player here. But it is about the team that they managed to build around him as well. As we saw, Reggie kind of is just left to do their thing. You go, you get those KOs, you do what you need to do. The rest of the team will hold their attention and take that damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things too, is you need to think about too, is it's not just Reggie, it's the supports that follow up. What makes them successful? Is it just that they're this good? Or do you look at maybe leaving up some of those targets for Reggie to take and take away more of the bulkier Pokemon, more of the supportive Pokemon that enable them to do what they need to do? Hoopa, very strong, didn't hit the ban, didn't even come into the draft there. Blissey also, I think Blissey hit the ban there, but maybe that is something you leave up as a way to say, all right, if you want to take Scyther, if you want to take your Gengar, go ahead, take it. We'll take Blissey, we'll take Mega Char, or we'll take something else that we can just Bliss assist on and go to town with. Or you want to bring in a Gengar, you want to bring in a Scyther there, maybe we go with Sweet Kiss Comfey into a Serena. Maybe we go a little bit nastier there and try to take them down that way.
Yeah, because you can bet they ain't going to get that Suicune, as we do see them continuing to ban that out on the side of CACM Esports. Completely understandable why. Giving you an update on the other side of the bracket, though, chat. Lost MTZ have managed to defeat Le Bigorneau, so they've come into the losers semi-final versus Infamous Gaming, which will be a best of three down there in that lower side. So they're going to be keeping a very close eye on this set as it develops, Jonathan.
I'm excited to see Infamous Gaming go all the way. I kind of want to see them in the grand finals there. We need some LATAM representation in this going through. And I think a CACM versus Infamous Gaming could be the way to go. We could see some really strong players go up against each other.
Oh, that would be huge if we see that come through. We saw a couple of other regional tournaments recently. I think the grand final ended up being EU versus EU in the Unite Legends Showdown. This one being a double ATAM would be electric as we go on into the second game here. Looking at the band Spinal, they're just doing the same.
Yeah, but that is only two. We could see the third. That's the Talonflame. Come on, Talonflame is the third. You want to let that lock out? Nah, Slowbro. They said, hey, we kept getting psyched out by Slowbro. Well, you can't do it anymore. We're going to get him off the ban table.
Bro, that is so valid. That Slowbro took so much resources to take down that whilst you were doing that, your team was falling to the damage from Cacm Esports. So that is such a valid ban, as Vin Diesel will go back to the first pick on the Mimikyu.
Yeah, Mimikyu coming back in. They said, listen, the Mimikyu is going to allow us to get back into this. Just watch, just listen, just say, we got this going on. But Psyduck on Texas, and do we see that mean Crustle there on Ranma? That could be a really solid core. Mimikyu could be like, listen, I'm all up in your business, but I mean, we saw how nasty Crustle can be, and that is a really good pick to deny Pure.
It is. The Spinal gonna just run it on back. Looks like Miraidon is gonna be the pick here for Flareons rather than the Inteleon, and that is gonna be smart. Instead, no, JL will bring out the Hooper. Pure is back on their tried and tested Snorlax.
I would be very careful. Flareons did hover the Miraidon there, so that is something that you got to be a little fearful there. But the Snorlax Hoopa combo, that is also a strong core. Snorlax, great engager. Hoopa is also great for disrupting the mental game, because you're like, I almost got that last hit. I can almost get them, and all of a sudden they boop through a portal, and they're just back again at full HP.
Oh, this is good. Cacm Esports going to bring out that Miraidon here, give themselves the strong attack. Flareons really flexing their range attacker skills. He is going to pull out the Mew this time for Spinal. Whilst OG makes a decision, it's going to be the Buzzwole coming onto the field. That top lane is going to be a mighty one with that Hooper and Buzzwole combo.
Yeah, Reggie's debating bringing in that Talonflame, but yeah, Flareon's on that Mew. They're saying, listen, you can take the Miraidon. This might not be an Inteleon game, but you played Mew. Now we're going to go tit for tat. We're going to go play some Mewtwo. I'm going to show you that you are right. That Mew is a great secure, and I'm going to make sure we can outrange the Miraidon all day, every day.
All day, every day. I mean, that is exactly what they're going to need to do if they want to win this, or at least take it to a game 3. Cacm Esports have the advantage. They are one game up so far, and they are just going to run back the plan that they've used throughout the entirety of these sets. We've got Reggie on the Speedster left to do their own devices, whilst we have the strong defender and support to protect these ranged attackers.
Yeah, and I think the Buzzwole is going to be really key for the Spinal as well. That CC, that just, again, they go similar to the Mamoswine, but stronger. It provides a lot of pick opportunities. So if you go in with Reggie, sure, you get the Brave Bird off, but if you're able to grab it before it aerial laces, that's a huge stun on it. That's a great grab. Even if you get the aerial lace off, you might not necessarily get out. So you could force the Flame Sweep to come through and be forced out of it. All of a sudden, Reggie doesn't have that disengage anymore, or they weren't able to get the value that they want. So I think Buzzwole is going to be an incredibly strong deterrent for diving in recklessly.
No, 100%, and you know, it's the main reason to pick up that Pokemon. For me, it's all about if they can get on Don Lux, because we've seen Miraidon multiple times. They just sit there in the back line when they've got protection like this Crustle and just blitz through your team with that enhanced charge beam.
Yeah, I think the Mimikyu is going to have to be the one to try to do that there. We might see more Trick Room action coming up today, but Spinal, your purple team, Cacm Esports, your orange team. Cacm is in match point, so Spinal's got to really pull it together to take this to a game 3.
See if it works for them as we see them taking to the central area here up in the top lane. It's all about what they can do to get Unk to level 5. OG needs to hit that early on to really bring the damage onto Frank.
Yeah, and already we got a huge chunk there onto that Vin there, so we got to make sure we pull out, try to get something going on as OG goes in. They're going to come in. They're going to take most of those birds, I believe, going to the Hoopa. That's a great grab there. Not a lot of experience, but it is enough in this early game.
Here comes Reggie coming in with that acrobatics, does a great amount of damage early on with this Lechinder. They're going to take down Hooper. JL back to the Pokemon Center. We see Vin Diesel on the way up with the Mimikyu, but will that be enough? They've got vision on where Vin is as the 850 spawn on in. Acrobatics is so good for cleaning these up, but they do manage to get a few on the side of OG.
Yeah, Reggie tried to go in. They thought better of it. They're like, listen, their team's here. Mine's not. That's okay. We're going to back right up. We got 35 seconds till Reggie Drago pops in. But we got some birds down there. I'm going to go for it. And Reggie is going, Og is going to go up right against that Latios and try to say, hey, what's up?
Very close early game, to be honest, though. But he just looking at the scores, only 4 points on the board here with Cacm getting like 1 or 2 stacks. Right now, we got 15 seconds before Reggie Drago takes to the field. We've hit level 7 on the side of Talonflame, but Mimikyu is managing to keep up so far. The level's more on the side of Cacm Esports as both teams look like they want to get close to this Reggie Drago.
Yeah, Miraidon's already there. Dunlux is ready to go for it, ripping it there. But Vin and Pure are also there as well. We're starting to see Cacm pull down and try to get onto this as Reggie gets on top of the Mimikyu, is able to take it down. But the Hoopa portals come through, save 2 of them. But the Mew gets taken down. Flareon's is now back at base while JL is getting taken down by the Psyduck.
That is so tough. They were so close to finding the KO onto Reggie, but they were so quick to get out of the beam of the Mew. And as JL came back looking to hunt them down, none other than Donlux was there to protect that Talonflame. Cacm Esports have now given themselves the advantage in this early game as they take the majority of that farm yet again.
Charge Beam coming out there in the Thunder, going to be scouting out for positions, threatening the farm a little bit. Listen, you got to burn that Solar Beam to try to get it there. 8 seconds until our first objectives come in. Where is each one going to be? It's going to be crucial to where you find where that experienced Reggie is, and Lecky going to be appearing in the top side.
Does look like Spinal want to be here for it as well as they get some good vision, seeing where this Psyduck is. The dive in from Cacm Esports already as Reggie rips that down to half health. Got to watch out from this muted auto coming in though. There's the Electro Ball as well, but he just gets it set up for the Brave Bird to find the answer. I would let this in if I was Spinal, but you've got to stop them from being able to score it. There it goes. Not a massive overcap. Opens up the extra area of experience, but it's whether you can get to it, Jonathan, because right now Cacm Esports is cleaning you up.
Yeah, they're looking for a break. That's 6 points on the Reggie. There could be potentially 2 more if they decide to take a couple of more points and break it. They may not now, but as long as it's done before the next Reggie spawns in and heads towards that pad, that is a win condition and a threat to the home pad.
I mean, right now, they are completely outscoring and out-leveling Spinal. They've got 172 points to 9, and they, yet again, Spinal struggling to deal with the ranged attack coming in from this Miraidon, trying to see if they can find a sneak through, but Ranma will take all of that damage whilst they wait for Reggie to just farm up the rest of their experience. It looks like Spinal wants to take the approach, knowing that this Talonflame's not here yet. Bright Future, Meteor Storm, though, pushed up against the Rock Tomb, works a treat for Cacm Esports, buys them that little bit of space as Pure tries to find it from the side of the Spinal now. Full power Sai reduces that damage coming in, and they continue to go at each other. Spinal finds a good KO, but so does Cacm, and it looks like they're going to come out on top.
Cacm is doing an incredibly good job of playing around those portals. They see the Hoopa portal and they immediately set up. They know how to engage. Whether it's to deny the wall from the Buzzwall getting in there, or whether they're just saying, Crustal, you plant yourself on top of it, anybody goes, you X-scissor them out of there. Both teams are fantastic, doing a great job here, but that top pad is up, is gone. Regieleki spawns in 15 seconds there, so now Spinal has to decide, do we keep pushing bottom, or do we rotate into the top for Regieleki in 7 seconds?
They got a show for this. I'm so surprised they aren't, because realistically, if Cacm Esports takes this before the 4-minute mark, we will have another Regieleki, and that is going to push that home pad as well. Right now, Spinal are going to try and see if they can find some advantage down here whilst that Regieleki pushes their home pad. They know they're going to have to go and defend that, but we will have another one coming into this game, buddy. Can Spinal get enough out of this at the moment? It looks like not, as Cacm Esports are going to rotate down. Miraidon's going to break him from scoring, and that is a huge defense from this team.
Yeah, the Talonflame tried to score 46, but the Snorlax got there first there. So the Pure is able to stop that. Now we do have Og that's going to be stopping it, but now they're putting the pressure onto the T1 pad. The Rings Unbound are coming out. JL is 1 HP in a dream. They're trying to get out. They're trying to throw hands. Ultra Soul Slam's coming in. We do have Ranma trying to get out there as we get smacked down, but we finally take down the Buzzwole with the Bright Future Meteor Storm, setting up a bright future indeed for CACM.
This is a domination from Cacm Esports. They are so incredibly comfortable in this game right now. They've just got to watch out for being too confident and pushing up and staying too long. We have just said goodbye to Reggie. Level 13 Talonflame has been taken by Spinal. They break that pad, buddy. 330 points unanswered here. 17 just for Spinal.
They did great math there. 40 points left on, 38 first, then the 40. They timed it incredibly well. I also hope Spinal mark the timer for Regieleki, because we're about to see that timer come up any second now. 2:35 is when it should be back on the field, and there it is, 30 seconds away. Now they know exactly where they need to be to deny that win condition.
Yeah, they got to show for this. They have to go and do something up in that top lane. It seems right now Cacm Esports really trying to find the fight in the central areas. Pure is going to go down. I thought they were going to find the KO. We do say goodbye to Reggie again, though, which is massive now for Spinal, not having that pressure coming in on that Talonflame. 40 seconds left on the board, but right now Cacm Esports are in the top lane ready to rip.
Renma's already starting to get that vision, and Psyduck is ready to there too for it. We get beginning to rip there, but we do have Spinal coming up in force, in mass. The entirety of CSCM is not quite here yet, but Spinal's ready to throw hands. They recognize this is where they need to be, so the Rings Unbound comes out. Tano.
Oh, they're going to take down the Buzzwole here, but it looks like this is going to be the ground on fire. The Regieleki is still pretty weak as Reggie gets onto it. The enhanced charge beam is going to work, and there is the Brave Bird. Rubble Rouser is now going to be used as Ramnar tries to hold strong here against the Mimikyu. Bright Future Meteor Storm will work. Cacm Esports have taken the Regieleki, pushing the home pad right now. They've taken out 3 Pokemon from Spinal, and they're now going for the rip onto the Groudon. The Hooper has already been used. This is going to be taken by Cacm Esports as they hold strong for LATAM.
5-man army going towards it. Spinal just says, listen, we have too many down. It's gone. It's over. CACM's going to take this by storm in a 2-0 victory.
What a statement by Cacm Esports. Spinal were having one heck of a tournament so far. They were the team to beat. And Cacm Esports has come in and made an absolute statement, especially in that second game, to force a team like Spinal to accept the fact that they are not going to win that game with a minute still left on the clock is absolutely massive for this LATAM team.
Yeah, CACM did a really good job of breaking apart what Spinal tried to do there. They were able to deny. They just basically reverse Reggie them, but targeting the Flareons. They just said, we'll take the Miraidon from you. You can have the Mew. We'll deny an opportunity for your Inteleon to come in because it's not a good matchup into this. And we're just going to make sure that we get to take you down because yeah, you want to take out Scyther, you want to take out Gengar. Well, that just means the gloves are off.
Bro, I gotta say, honestly, I think, to be honest, Bridget is onto something here. LATAM is nasty this year. They are playing so fantastically well, and I think they may be the region to watch. But nevertheless, we have the Alex about to join us. Jonathan, what a set that ended up being.